Hello, and welcome everyone to the SLU versus the Nova Nighthawks League of Legends game. My name is Patrick, or Blank is my gamer tag, and I'm here co-casting.
Hi, my name is Ricky. I go by a kind support on League, and I'm also known on Twitch as Applesman. Yes, that's with a Z and an underscore because why not?
Today's game is going to be an interesting one because this is my first cast in a good time. I don't know about you, Ricky.
Oh, this is my second cast. I did one for last week, and that was a very fun and interesting thing.
Alright. So let's go ahead and get into the draft here. We see coming out of SLU, I'll go ahead and do their bands. You can do Nova's. We see the Nautilus, Misfortune, and Yaswell bands.
Yep, and over by at home base, we've banned Morgana, Heimerdinger, and Echo. That's a lot of AP being banned.
Yeah, I can see why. With Morgana having the spell shield, you really don't want to have to go against that.
Oh no, there's a Soraka being picked first. I think recently, wasn't she very big and like suddenly people were like, yeah, let's play
The
Soraka top lane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very big thing right now. But we don't know. The draft is still happening. You could roll into Soraka support, obviously, because she's still a support player. We see out of Nova the Jarvan 4 and the Senna picks first.
Those are some pretty good picks. J4, if I remember correctly, he's got some like good engage. His ult, that's really good for stopping people. And Senna is just all around pretty powerful, with her Q giving her a bit of healing, and the W being a route that's very annoying to try and get out of.
Yes, and she's a very scaly AD, especially into late game, especially with how useful her ult is. She can get a lot of assists for a lot of gold early game, getting the cross-map coverage, and the big shield that you can help provide to your teammates.
Yeah, talking about global stuff, we already kind of talked a bit about Soraka, and for those that, for those that know me, I'm a Soraka main, so her ult's going to be pretty powerful. If Nova lets Soraka get towards the late game, like build up an item or two, her heals are strong enough to even kind of overcome grievous wounds at 2 to 3 items.
And those for who don't know, the Soraka ult is a global heal to all of her teammates. For its percentage based, or is it?
It heals them on a value, and it actually I think about doubles. It's stronger
Okay.
when they're below 40% HP.
Oh, okay, okay. And seeing some other picks out of SLU, we see the Kindred and Caitlyn picks. Those are really solid picks for jungle and ADC right there. Kindred has a very good jungling phase and gank ability with her W's and E's. And then out of Nova, we see the Thresh support pick, which is very solid if he lands his hooks and into his flays and R, which is a big slow.
I find it a bit funny the fact that we've got a Senna Thresh. Those two should not get along due to the lore. And there's the Renekton ban. Nova didn't have a good time against a Renekton last week. I swear, I had Renekton in my nightmares that day.
And we see the Sandra ban out of the SLU team. She's a very solid mid laner, especially with her engages, with her E's, and her R. And we see the Veigar ban out of Nova. Very interesting. Very AP heavy bans today out of the Nova team.
Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah, well, I mean, Veigar is understandable. You just you give him time to stack, and before
Boom.
you know, the ult one-shots him.
Yeah. And then we see the last ban out of SLU being Elise. So definitely shutting down that solid jungler with her cocoon and gank ability when in spider form. And she has really good dragon potential early in the game.
Yeah. I'll trust you on that. Jungle isn't exactly too much of my domain. But talking about domains, we've got Mordekaiser up topside for Nova. That's pretty good. His ult, even if he kind of loses early game, and he's not too, like, I don't know, he doesn't win his lane that much, he can still use his ult during team fights to isolate targets, like if the Caitlyn, the Kindred, or the Soraka, or whoever they're picking becomes a big target. The Mordekaiser's gonna be like, you're not in this team fight, you're out of here.
And those who don't know, Mordekaiser's ult grabs a target and puts them into their own forbidden realm with him. So it's like a instant 1v1 in this small little spot on the map. Back to the picks, we see Malphite pick out of SLU. His ult is very solid. It's a really big knock-up, has really decent range. He has amazing poke, so we're going to see how that laning phase goes. Last
Leona.
pick, Leona out of that team. So comp is very interesting here. I'm very interested to see who's going to be rolling in what lanes. I see several different supports and several different top laners here that you could be rolling. Out of Nova getting the very last pick, we'll see what they go ahead and take here.
Yeah, they could have either Leona or Soraka top. I know Leona has been flexed in different roles recently. There was a few matches where I actually ran into a Leona jungle. And, just barely in the nick of time, Nova picks Brand.
Ooh, the Brand. Brand's really solid. His Q's a stun. If he gets several stacks of his passive on you, it does quite a bit of damage and can be spread very easily if a team does not spread out fast enough.
Yeah.
And we'll see everyone slowly filter into the correct roles here is in LCS order. So it goes top, jungle, mid.
Wait, what? What? Something just happened?
Alright, and we're back. Sorry about that. One of the people were on the wrong count in the draft, and they had the pick wrong unit, but they will have to end up inevitably playing that brand that they picked, even though that's not what they wanted. Brand is still a really solid pick, like I said. His Qs are really good stuns. He has really good AoE if it's not dealt with correctly. So we'll see the same draft flow through here. Our matchups, we didn't get to see a lot of how the lane goes, but when they do get in the correct order, it will be top jungle, mid, ADC support, and we'll be able to see a lot of our matchups there. Jungle is definitely gonna be Kindred, Jarvan. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of early invades. I see them both as pretty equals in my foot on you know, 1v1ing early game. Definitely gonna see, I think, a fair amount of ganks out of both of them though, as early game ganks with them can be very solid.
Yeah, but I think Kindred is going to be, because of Kindred's passive, whatever, I think she is actually going to have to go and invade, because just to get her marks.
That's true, because of her marks.
Yeah, which will be interesting to see how J4 deals with it. Got quite a few, well, got more viewers than I expected. Yeah. Alright, them picking again. It's going by much quicker this time.
Yes, because they already know all their roles. So it's going to be really interesting. If I saw correctly before, I think it's Malphite top, Soraka mid. Well, it's going to be very interesting. I think the Soraka mid. I've seen, obviously there's the big crave right now for the Soraka top, but I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. This is definitely something new for me. I think probably something new for you, and something new for a good bit of the League community.
Yeah.
And those who don't know the League community.
Yeah, I've messed with Soraka top before, but never Soraka... Well, okay, there's one time I messed with Soraka mid. I made a Renekton really sad that day. Yeah. But then later on, he introduced me to his little axe thing. What even is that called? His blade?
For who?
For Renekton. What's even his, blade's name?
I don't know, man. Let's talk a little bit about our matchups here, though. So top lane, we're going to have Malphite versus Mordekaiser. So this is going to be tank versus tank fight here. You're probably not going to see a lot of, going for the all-in engages without junglers here. In my opinion, probably Mordekaiser will win that a little more just because his passive does % health damage if he can get it triggered. But Malphite has a lot of slows, so he can really disengage well. Jungle, like we talked about, is Kindred, Jarvan. Mids, that brand Soraka, so it's going to be very interesting. We also see double teleport on the SLU side, where there's only a single teleport on the Nova side. So Nova's definitely going to have to be careful about that with SLU bouncing around and doing what they want to do when it comes to objective fighting.
Yeah, and now we actually see spectator delays, so we know it's not someone dipping out. Yeah. It's going to basically be, with Soraka Brand, it's basically going to be like the battle of the supports.
Yeah, basically. Though Brand early game is very support heavy, I think towards the late game, once he gets his items, Brand definitely becomes a heavy damage dealer with his Rs bouncing around and everything like that and triggering his passive.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about bot lane here. Bot lane, Caitlyn has an amazing attack range on this laning, against any ADC, but Senna does have that Q, which gives her a fair amount of healing and poke when it comes to lane, because her Q does have a fair range on itself. But you see that Senna is going cleanse because Caitlyn has her root traps, and Leona has her E, which roots, and her Q, which stuns, and her R can also stun if it landed right. So it's definitely going to be a heavy CC bot lane between the Senna W, Thresh Qs, and Caitlyn and Leona with all their abilities.
Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. Actually, something that I learned recently, Senna's Q actually scales with her attack range.
Oh, yeah, because her passive gives her attack range, so it gets longer. Okay, that's very interesting.
Yeah, I only found that out last night. It's interesting that Nova's bot lane is a scaling bot lane, quite literally, or stacking bot lane, because Thresh's Souls and then Senna's Mist.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be, I think Nova here is definitely going for a hard scaly team with Senna, Thresh definitely getting stronger and stronger in late game, Brand definitely gets stronger in late game, Mordekaiser becomes a complete tank and damage dealer in late game. Even if he has a rough early game, he gets an item or two. He has lots of slows. He has lots of peel. His damage is very, very fair amount. On the other side, though, same thing. I mean, Malphite, if Malphite doesn't have the greatest early game, his late game is still good. He gets an item or two, he becomes tanky. His R is still this very big AoE knockup, and, he'll be able to be very useful when it comes to team fights. So it'll be very interesting to see how this matchup goes.
And then Soraka late game. I don't know if any of you have ever dealt with a Soraka late game that has like 2 to 3 items and you try and use Grievous Wounds on her or her allies, and it's just like, okay, I threw Grievous Wounds on you. Why are you still healing for half your HP?
Yeah. So definitely, I think our early game push to keep Soraka down is definitely something mid lane is going to have to look for here. And speaking of the teleports, I now see that Nova actually switched to double teleport to match the SLU double teleport.
Oh.
So both teams will be able to bounce around for objectives and definitely have a good amount of split push when it comes to objective fighting.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. That means we get a 50-50 chance to guess correctly who's TPing.
Exactly.
Jeez, better get your coin flips ready.
And here we go, bouncing into the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number 1.
Be pretty neat. Okay, there it goes. Now it's loading on up. Oh, it's actually the J4's actually got the little signatures. That's really neat. I'm just looking at the runes, everything. Leona is running Guardian. That's pretty interesting.
That's a very interesting because with Caitlyn has such a great attack range that she's not really there a lot. She has a very big distance between where Leona's going to be and where Caitlyn's going to be. And Guardian, you have to be close to your ally to get the healing off of it. Whereas Aftershock, once you proc any CC, it gives you all that tankiness and makes you really useful.
Yeah, I'm also just used to seeing Leona's run Aftershock rather than Guardian.
Yeah, that's what I made Leona.
Oh, okay.
I've ran Guardian before, but usually you do it with more of like a divey type, like Zaya or even like a Yasuo ADC, something like that. Someone who's going to be there next to you so you can proc the heals and get a maximum amount of out of it.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see.
So we see no heal summoners on the side of Nova here, and that's mostly for the fact I think that they really need that cleanse, like I said, to peel off that Caitlyn Leona, but also just because Sinna's heals will be able to heal them down in bot lane for a sizable amount, not a great amount, but for enough.
Yeah, and we're seeing it's
loading. Yeah,
it's taking a bit. Yeah, there we go. I think it also might be there's a bit of CC from frickin' Mountain Man. The Mountain Man. Okay, something's going on. But yeah, from I can't remember his name right now. Malphite. CC from Malphite. You got a bit of CC from Kindred, though that one's not as easy to pull off. So it's going pretty good all around.
So we see Nova collecting together and going as a 5-man into bot lane. You might see an early engage here where SLU is looking more for a 5-point.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. It's working.
And they do get the ward down, so there is no early engage, so Nova will have to back out of that. Now that SLU has vision over them.
Yeah, and actually, the Rock is going to go check on it and ward red buff. Is Nova going for the invade here?
Nova is still going for the invade, not knowing the ward was in that bush in river.
Oh, and there's a trap. They've been sighted.
And so see, there's that trap out of Caitlyn. It's going to be very dangerous because if she does trap you, she can get her headshot proc. And that deals a very sizable amount of damage to anyone that's captured inside of it.
Yeah. Yes.
And so now that the failed engage, we'll see the standard just, junglers going to do their thing. We see for Nova, they're going for red buff, and for SLU, they're going for blue buff. Just a little bit on buffs. Red buff is your basic attacks apply a burn, and I think you also get some HP off it.
Yeah, there's a bit of healing. It's wonky when it activates.
Yeah, whereas blue buff is just like cooldown and a bunch of mana regeneration, which is really nice on people like Kindred, where now she can just spam out her abilities, blow through jungle really fast, not worry about going boom really early in lane.
Something's going off the J4. If you notice, he's going and checking around mid. They might be going for that J4 brand. They might be going for the Rocka.
Oh. We do see him go in, but he misses the QE, and it's just okay. You still got some poke out of it, and Soraka early game really doesn't do enough damage to make him, worry.
Yeah, and it looks like he might be going bot side now to try his luck.
We do see Mordekaiser getting his passive off, which means he got either 3 abilities. Oh, and we see First Blood coming out to Nova with that Jarvan, Senna, Thresh pick down on Leona. Leona probably tried peeling for a Caitlyn there, and then Thresh took advantage of that, flayed hooks, which is a very good pick.
Yeah, and as I'm looking at it, they're both level 1 down there. That would know Leona. You actually know as Leona main. You start Q first. Oh, and there's the catch.
Oh,
and
ooh, that's a nice root. Ooh, there's the flay. Ignite. She had the pop heal. So Caitlyn now has no summoners, no heal, no flash. So if they want to dive this again, they can. But if you look on the map, Kindred is down there as a protection, but Nova doesn't know this.
Yeah, they don't. But that was really close for them. It's going to be risky if Caitlyn sticks around. And Nova's getting some vision around there. So Kindred can't just pop out of the blue like that.
We do see Nova rotating through River, looking at mid side here, which is going to be very useful if they want to try and maybe do mid gank. But nope, they're just going to grab Scuttle and probably head back down in the bot lane. Or with First Blood, they could back here, grab items, and head. No, Thresh is going to back here. And then Senna's going to... Oh, no, Senna's back into... Okay.
That's really cool. One of our technical dudes came on by and just activated. It's actually showing all the cooldowns for like Rift, Baron, Red, Blue, and then the Drake that's coming up. That is really neat.
That is neat. For those who don't know, with the latest patch, how Drakes work now is that the first team to claim 4 Drakes will get the soul of whatever the third Drake is. So it's like first one's Inferno, second one's Mountain, third one's Cloud. So every Drake after the third will always be Cloud. And the first team to get the 4 will activate that soul. So once we get to the soul part of it, I'll explain which soul does what. Because I obviously don't know you explain it.
I don't think it's always Cloud.
No, it's not always Cloud. I'm just saying like that's like for instance, it could be like it could go like Infernal, Ocean, then Mountain, and then they're always Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phrasing confused me a bit. But
sorry, no, it's okay.
But what's not confusing me is this bit of damage going on up there. Top is trading a bit, and doesn't seem to be anything substantial. Ooh, that Soraka just got burnt a bit. She's pulling back. Ooh, that's the stun.
That ring? So that ring is the brand passive. When he lands, I think 3 abilities, he applies this like. I can't remember the name right now.
Oh, that's a Kindred kill.
That was a really good flash QE out of the Jarvan there on mid lane, killing that Kindred, who dived a little too deep over that brand. Oh, we see the Soraka lane the silence and kill the brand.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that hook missed. That would have been such a beautiful hook had it landed.
Back to brand a little bit. So his passive, if he hits 3, I think it's 3 abilities or 3 basics, he then applies this like circle that does a big damage when it ticks down and explodes, which can be very sizable. And what he did there is he saved his Q for when she had it to land and hit the stun with her Q. That way he guaranteed the explosion on her. It was very, very good on the brand side there.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So, yeah, just only 3 kills at this point, which is pretty, I'd say that's pretty standard for this kind of game. It's not a crazy amount of kills. This ain't a bronze match as far as I know. Yeah, but, yeah, bot lane's doing alright. Mid lane, it's... Soraka is level 6 now.
So if you look up on top, Malphite just teleported back on the tower because he had the back there. Because one thing Malphite has is mana, whereas Mordekaiser doesn't have mana. He's all cooldown based. Yeah. Whereas if Malphite can run out of mana, he can't do anything. Where Mordekaiser, he just stands around for a few seconds, waits for his cooldowns, and then goes in. So Mordekaiser can push really hard. You see him getting some really nice vision here. And taking a fight in jungle, he gets passive off, but he sees the Kindred. He go ahead and pops ult, so you can see how they're kind of phased here. He's just 1v1ing in this solo private realm with Malphite, but he is surrounded. Malphite pops his ult. Soraka pops her ult. Will he get out? No, he will not get out. We see multiple flashes on both sides. We see Malphite ult. We see Mordekaiser ult there.
Yeah, and Senna wasn't level 6, so she wasn't able to send anything up there to help.
But because they saw that 3-man top, Nova did take advantage and go ahead and take that Drake, now since they had the numbers on the bot side of the map. We see the invade here. Jarvan gets a really nice knock up. Brand trying to get his passive to go off. Brand will get it. Mordekaiser rotating down too. I totally missed that one, but that was really nice of them. Really nice collapse on that Kindred, baiting her out with the brand.
Yeah, that was pretty smart. Yeah. And then the Caitlyn 1v1ing Senna.
trying to get that 1v1. She hits the root. She misses. You see Thresh in the backside. Misses the hook. That hook's really big. Hits the flay. Hits the ignite. She's sitting about half health. Senna's still not 6 though. Senna does get the kill, but at what cost? Tower deals too much damage to her.
Yeah, the
and you will see the 2 supports just early game supports doing nothing. We see the Brand TP in the mid. Soraka can prep for this and put the silence down. Brand, fast reaction, hits his W and his E, I believe.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. That was pretty interesting to watch bot side. Senna's greed did cost her quite a bit there.
Yeah.
And as it showed, Leona actually got some shutdown gold, or at least it looked like it.
No, yeah. So shutdown gold is when a certain character gets so many kills, assists, or advantage on the field, you'll get shutdown gold, and then when someone kills you, they get the base 300 gold you're worth, plus the shutdown gold. Leona having that isn't really the greatest thing, though. You would rather have your ADC to get that so they can get items faster, but it's not the end of the world for the Leona to get that. Leona can get her support items faster, get some more shielding, and so on, stuff like that.
Yeah, and champions can also gain bounty not just from being a killing machine, but also from being a CS machine. If they've got like a heavy CS lead over their opposing laner, they can actually get bounty on them. Which is really interesting. You don't usually see it. Yeah.
We do see one thing out of Nova here is Nova is definitely taking advantage and keeping vision control on the enemy's just beginning line of jungle. They have the wards just on the other side of river so they can see where their opponents are at, so they can keep advantage on objectives like this, like they're grabbing Rift Herald. Rift Herald's very useful for pushing lanes right now, especially during plate phase, because he deals a very sizable amount of damage to him if he can hit the tower.
Yeah. Is Rift male or female?
From what I can tell, I think it's a she, because everyone calls it Shelly, at least from what I know.
Okay, I was just curious. Yeah, but it looks like Kindred's playing something topside, and Leona is roaming on around a bit. So
now that Leona has her Moby boots, which gives her a lot of movement speed outside of combat, she will be bouncing around a bunch between lanes, trying to get some ganks here and there, but that does leave her ADC very vulnerable to stuff like this. Thresh is just walking up. He hits the hook. He'll pull it. He'll hit the flay, and you see the Caitlyn go down here as the W. My co-caster had to step out for a second for a phone call, and that's okay. We do see the 1v1 out of Malphite and Mordekaiser here. You see both of their ults come out. Malphite using his to try and run. You see Mordekaiser using his just to, engage. And we see Kindred rotating up, trying to turn on him now that he has no abilities. We see the dive mid lane with Leona trying to get that Brand. We see the Senna shield out of her ult coming. We see the spread out of the Brand ult. Brand trying to get that kill. Cannot get it. Does not want to risk dying, so Soraka decides to back out. We see the Rift Herald taking bot tower with the 3-man.
Jeez, yeah, I just caught the tail end of it. That was pretty impressive from what I saw there. The Senna ult was pretty good. I'm pretty sure that saved the Brand's life. The Leona ult was pretty good as well. And that's one that makes my little support heart happy.
The one thing is that she used it really late in the fight, so she had no other cooldowns to engage because she had enough health. So if she wanted, she could have ult and then followed up, soaking that tower, so Soraka could have gotten the kill. But she didn't have her abilities up, so she had to run.
Kindred.
We see the Kindred trying to dive the Brand using his stopwatch to save himself. Kindred taking a lot of damage out of tower there, seeing very low in health. You see the Thresh coming up. Thresh going for the hook. He lands the hook. He'll follow it up with the flay. You see Kindred ult, which prevents people from dying inside of it. You see the Thresh ult, which will slow her a bunch. You see Kindred flash. She's ignited. And she will knock it away as the Senna Q lands.
Jeez, that Thresh hook went everywhere but where it needed to. That was pretty... I did not expect that to hit. It caught her with just the bare end of the beam.
That was a very, very good engage on Nova's side, calling out where rotations, who's low, who's where, and they did a very good job of getting that kill. You still see, like I said, Nova's just conquering that vision on River. They know who's where. They know when they can invade. They're keeping vision very controlled on their favor, which is very strong in fights like this.
Basically, vision is OP. It's something that if you look into kind of higher level games from what I've seen that breaks some of the divisions is vision. How, like, if you look at the vision scores, usually the supports will be something like usually 1.5 or even 2 times the game's length.
Length, yeah.
Which is pretty absurd.
So you just see Mordekaiser, every time he walks in this lane now, Malphite's just afraid because he just does not want to fight him anymore. You see him pulling him back into his passive, and you see that trade. You see that Malphite just cannot take these trades anymore because the 1v1 favor is in Mordekaiser now that he has Spell Pen and his first partial item, at least.
Yeah, the CS difference is starting to grow there. Yeah,
And it will get greater and greater in this fight.
Ooh, talking about CS difference, Kindred is behind by quite a bit. That's about, what, do you see, like,
that's about
30?
About a 30-ish difference. You see Nova, like I said, they're controlling that vision. They're getting their control wards down. They're using their sweepers. They're prepping for Dragon here. They want, dragons are really big. They want to get that Dragon Soul no matter what it is. All Dragon Souls are really good. You see them, annihilating that vision just so they can't get ganked. They're slowly piecing it together, the pieces of the puzzle. Oh, first we clear vision, then maybe we get a pick, then we get a dragon. It's very processed, and Nova is executing this very well. On the SLU side, you see them trying to counteract that. You see them constantly placing wards. You see them running their own sweepers now. But I definitely think SLU is just not controlling with their pinks enough. They're not getting enough pink wards. And pink wards, or control wards, what they're called, basically turn off the vision of enemy wards that are inside the range of it.
Oh, something's going on near bot side. Looks like they might be trying to go for a bit of greed, which the Senna's definitely got enough kills and enough
power. See this
power.
Jarvan hiding out in bush, unseen. Oh, the hook missed, and that will call off the engage in a total. If Thresh had hit that hook, ooh, that quick flash that we just saw there out of top lane. That was interesting. He did not want to take that fight there.
Jeez. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then back to mid. Even though Soraka's up a kill, she's down quite a bit of CS compared to the Brand.
Yeah, because Brand has such a really good AoE potential that he can just CS so much faster. You see Nova trying to go for Dragon here, then they see SLU poking in, but Nova has 2 teleports still. Nova can easily take this engage, teleport down. Oh, but we see the Malphite ult. That's the dangerous ult we talked about. He ults in, knocks everyone up, deals a great amount of damage.
And that's a cleanup.
And that is not good for Nova as SLU gets that double kill, cleaning them up using their ults. And that Dragon will go to SLU.
Yeah, I felt like that Soraka ult was a bit early, but that's still a good time to use it.
Yeah, so you see the Soraka ult coming out, which is the AoE heal for a whole team globally. You see the Malphite ult knocking everyone up. You see the Leona ult stunning people who are in the center of it, slowing people on the sides of it. Very good combination of ults just to take down and win that fight there. And then you see them invading, taking this jungle away from Jarvan as Kindred wants to try and catch up here since she's 3 deaths and only 2 assists. She has no kills, so her CSing is her greatest advantage of trying to catch up in gold.
Yeah, and you're using Cloud Drake as an example earlier today, but it seems like you must have been having the power of a fortune teller or clairvoyance, whatever the name of it is, because we've got Cloud as the 3rd Drake here.
So basically what this means, like I said earlier, is that each team has 1 dragon right now, and Dragon's Soul won't be active until one team has 4 dragons. So that means each team could potentially get 3 more dragons. Well, one team get 2, one team get 3, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's a highly unlikely case.
Yeah, we'll see. We see the Soraka trying to get picked off here. We see the Threshold landing, but they're not going to follow up with it as they see the Kindred Leona showing up. They're trying to set up for something here. I don't know if it's a Baron or if they're just trying to get some ganks in, then maybe roll into Baron after that. Baron is very big. Baron buff really helps with team fights. So we see everyone hanging out in top lane except for the ADCs. ADCs are still doing their thing bot lane, trying to get that CS, trying to get that gold, trying to get their items, whereas...
Ooh, trying to get first tower as well. If she can manage this.
Oh, getting caught out, and you see the ult coming out from both of them. Caitlyn ult does a large amount of damage, and once she targets you, Senna ult obviously does that damage and shielding. Oh, she catches the root here, but she's obviously not going to follow up with it. She's going to keep running, maybe getting the poke, and maybe Senna can re-engage here if she gets enough Qs to self-heal off.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy to see. Yeah, I don't know, does... Oh yeah, no, Senna ult does shield herself.
Yes, it shoots herself, shoots allies. Ooh, she hits that, but she gets hit by the Q. She's too slow to be able to walk up and try and take that engage. She has to E out for the movement speed on her E and just defend tower.
Yep, and I just saw Redemption
Thresh
get dropped.
running down. You see Thresh landing that hook. Caitlyn will go down here, and that was a very good pick for Nova.
Yeah, Nova's doing pretty well this.
Now you see, but up on top side of the map, SOU is conquering that vision now that Nova had early game. Now SOU has it. They have all that vision around Baron. You know, Nova's going to try and come in and clean up a little bit here with their sweepers and stuff, but they have to be wary because they don't have any vision now. So SOU could easily swap with them here. You see Leona walking up, getting half her health poked down just with Brand. You see the knockup from out of Jarvan. You see a Soraka heal. Leona going back in, even though Mordekaiser was there poking out a Soraka. I don't think Leona's going to make it out of this one. Oh, the heal out of Soraka again. Oh, the Kindred ult to save them from the damage. That is...
Jeez, that's
very well played. That was...
Oh no, that's
the
Soraka.
Ignite on Soraka.
Yeah, she could have actually survived that had she not thrown a heal out. Because Soraka's W, for those that don't know...
consumes her own health.
Yeah, it does.
Right? Yeah. And we see them fighting for the first tower. Oh no, first tower going down bot. So they're here fighting for a mid tower. They get that second tower. You see Mordekaiser posting up in jungle just in case they do try to invade. Mordekaiser going to jump on the back. Now that SOU is down the Soraka, Nova is looking just to back, buy items. They have the wave advantage, and they'll push back, claim the vision again for others. For Dragon in a minute. What is it? Minute 15.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, clearing vision. Don't have much else to add on to that.
Oh, it's second rift. I didn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't even watching timers.
Yeah, there's two rifts now.
No, yeah, I remembered. I wasn't even paying attention.
It's fine. Yeah, they're taking it.
I don't think Nova is too worried about losing this here, but we see a teleport out of one of them. Probably Mordekaiser. Yeah, it was Mordekaiser, but you saw the root.
Brand.
You saw it. Brand was just walking out. That was Mordekaiser's TP. You can see the cooldown.
Oh no,
they
Brand.
They both TP'd. Oh wow, very interesting.
They really wanted to keep it.
You see that SLU does not want to take this fight here. Nova does want to take this fight. They want to kill whoever has the Rift Herald, because the Rift Herald has a certain amount of time to be summoned. And if you don't summon it, then it'll just go away. But you don't want to just waste the summon. You want to use it in a good spot that can push a tower for you. We see TP out of SLU. That was out of Soraka, back in the mid lane, trying to protect that mid tower. You see the Mordekaiser Malphite top here. Malphite now has his Iceborne Gauntlet, which gives him a lot of armor. So these engages are going to go back and forth, but Mordekaiser's mostly AP. So he still has that advantage, I believe, in these 1v1 fights, that he can deal enough damage to this Malphite to scare him off.
Yeah, and also the slow. And it looks like Nova just went on ahead and took the Cloud Drake, which, as most of you are probably aware, what Cloud Drake does is it gives you ultimate cooldown reduction by 10%, if I remember correctly.
Yes, for each time you get a Cloud Drake, it is a 10% cooldown reduction, which is really nice in this fight. I mean, if Mordekaiser can pop an ult every minute, I mean, his ult will always be up for every fight. He can just pick someone off. He'd be like, oh, you're not in the fight anymore. And if he always picks, like, let's say, Malphite, for instance, or Soraka, you know, what are they worth? You know, if Soraka's not in the team fight, she can't W, she can't heal. Obviously, she can still pop her ultimate, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I've not had too many instances where I've been sent to the Shadow Realm as I'm playing Rock and I've had to pop my ult.
Okay,
so
well,
it's
I guess
unconfirmed
we'll find that
there.
out later, but I mean, shorter cooldowns is a very good thing. I mean, Senna's ult is very long, and if Senna has a shorter ult, she can get that global shielding and heal much more often, which becomes very strong.
Yeah, the Brand ult as well. That could be really good against team fights, having them break on up. And then Thresh ult, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Thresh ult is good, but it's already on a shorter cooldown. If Brand ult is on a short cooldown, though, he gets his passive proccing constantly. I mean, that's just a lot of AoE damage. In team fights, a lot of team fights, if you pick him the right spots, Brand has the advantage, because if you're in these tight corridors in the jungle and he lands one person with passive, boom, 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 it's just going to start exploding, reapplying it. It's just going to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, and well, as we were talking about that, Brand went on ahead and took Kindred's mark, so she won't be able to go into Nova's red jungle and take it, which I'm pretty sure Kindred is down quite a few marks at this point.
Yeah, I don't think she's been hitting a lot of her marks. If you look over on the bottom left part, you see Kindred has the eye. That timer's running out. She only has a quarter of the total time left. You see the Malphite ult on the Brand here. Brand uses Flash to get out of it, and he will get away.
Yeah, Malphite did not want to chase after that, even though he had two of his teammates there with him.
Because they had no vision on where any of the opposing team is, but see, Nova had it early game, but now SLU is really showing that, hey, the vision's ours. If you look at the wards, all blue in the river, SLU really wants this vision. Ooh, SOU collapsing on this Mordekaiser, but I believe this is what Nova wants. Nova wants them to split off a large amount of their team. You see Mordekaiser downing this Leona, using his ult to clip her off. And we might see him be able to get a 2v1, but I don't think he can with this group here. You see lots of shooting come out with the Senna ult. You see the Caitlyn ult, yeah, but you see Nova's going for that Baron as the entire SLU team is bot lane.
Yeah.
No Malphite ult, no Caitlyn ult. The only thing they have to be worried about is Kindred coming in and ulting. You see Malphite getting picked off. This is not good for SLU, as Baron will probably go to Nova here, unless Kindred can get up there and get a smite in time, but I don't believe she will be able to, as this Baron is just getting burnt. And there it goes. Nova has claimed the first Baron.
Yep, and during that whole mess, Soraka ulted, so that was burnt. And yeah, they couldn't really do much about it. Even Rift through the mid lane, I don't think it's going to be able to do that much since no one's really pushing with it.
No, I mean, it'll take first tower, but Nova will be able to defend it at second tier tower. And, you know, ooh, they might actually be able to protect that. They protect first tower. It is just one hit, but it's still a tower nonetheless. It can still get a basic attack off if people don't focus it fast enough in team fights. It is still a danger. You can't just free walk up on it now. You can't get a lot of vision, because one thing is mid lane vision. A lot of teams will place wards just right in the mid lane just to control the vision, to see where people are. Where are you rotating from? What are you doing? Stuff like that.
Jeez. It's kind of like a paranoid X.
Yeah.
And not that I would know. Not that I would know.
No.
Totally. I'm claiming innocence here.
And so we see, now that Nova has that Baron, they're going to be pushing all lanes. You have Mordekaiser bot lane pushing with the Baron minions. You see the Brand, I thought someone else was, oh, Thresh was there. You see him pushing that top tower. They want to get that first tier tower. You see Thresh clearing out a bunch of jungle vision, denying a bunch of backs. They're doing a really good job reclaiming that vision, using Baron to their best advantage to take towers, push lanes. You see the Mordekaiser just camping out in that bush down there. The other team doesn't know where he is. He could have backed. He could be in jungle. So the Leona and Malphite definitely have to be careful. Now he's popping back out in lane. You can see where he is. You see Brand taking that top tower there with the Baron minions.
Yeah, it's definitely the big thing that Nova's been focusing on this match that I absolutely love is they've been focusing on objectives. Rift, towers, drakes. It hasn't been all about the kills. And because of this, they're able to do stuff like this.
Yep,
like
and
saying hello.
You see the Mordekaiser ult and Malphite. Malphite has to ult to save himself at such a low health bar. Mordekaiser is definitely going to go down here as the entire team is here, but that is okay. As the fact that Nova now gets to push mid, take mid tower, potentially push inhib tower. You see... okay, they're not. They're just... You see all the minions top lane, though. They're pushing that second tier tower, and minions alone will slowly take a tower. I mean, you might think of them as a small little nothing, but you still have a lot of worth. You see Nova with Baron still and an ult advantage will go ahead and take another Drake. This is an Inferno and double Cloud Drake in favor of Nova here, which is very good Drakes. Inferno amplifies your AD, AP damage. The Cloud is all the cooldown reduction. Nova is definitely taking advantage of these objectives, like you said, and they're going to snowball this game, I think, slowly over time. They're going to keep building up, getting their items. You see, you know, Mord has 2 full items. He finally got a stopwatch. You see Jarvan, he's working on second item after his jungle item. He has his first one. You see Brand has 2.5 items. You see Senna now has 2.5? Yeah, 2.5 items. You see Thresh has 2.5, 2 and like a fourth of an item.
Yeah, and talking about items, is it normal for J4 to build a Knight's Vow?
Yes, because if he applies that to your ADC, you get all that self-heal. J4, early game is a very fair amount of damage. Late game, if you build him right, it's just this tank of a unit. He jumps in, knocks everyone up, drops his ult, and it's just like, you can't kill him. He's just always here. He has a ton of attack speed. He's a very solid unit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright, yeah. Oh, he's currently linked with Brand. Makes sense. I don't think you can double Night Vow someone.
No, you can't. It's a single Night Vow. So Thresh's Night Vow is on Senna, and so Thresh will get the healing off Senna, and then J4 is on Brand, so all the damage Brand does, J4 receives some of that damage and healing.
Yeah.
And see, here goes Nova again. Mordekaiser bot, drawing that power. If they don't, if SLU doesn't deny Mordekaiser pushing, then he'll take towers easily. But if they send all their resources down there, Nova will be like, okay, we'll push another lane. We'll take advantage of this. You're focusing too much on him. It's this, give and takes. It's balances. Here's another fight. He's going to pop ult on Leona, trying to get the pick, make the best of what he can. Gets her very low. You see the redemption. You see the flash out of Leona just to escape. Leona getting very low. But look, Nova's pushing mid now. Nova's pushing top. They're pushing all these lanes at the cost of them wasting 3 or 4 ults just on a Mordekaiser. I mean, in comparison with Cloud Drake now, Nova definitely doesn't have to worry about blowing ults. They can be like, oh, I can ult here, I can ult there. Obviously, you still have to have put some timing to it, but it's less of a worry.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what they're doing here. And there's a brand I'll pop to deal some damage to Soraka and get her away from the tower.
Soraka getting very low. We see the redemption coming out of
Soraka.
Soraka.
Yeah, Leona doesn't have redemption. She does.
I was checking. She does have Righteous Glory, which is a very interesting first build. Usually when you're behind in a game, you want to go for more of those tank items. You want to become more of like a blocking force for your ADC and stuff like that. But she goes for the Righteous Glory, which is a lot of movement speed. And then when it deactivates, it puts this big debuff, like decreased movement speed to the opponents. So it'll be very interesting to see where this flows. Now, if we do look at the items, you know, they have that Soraka. Soraka has a lot of healing, and as you talk about Grievous Wounds, Senna did pick up the culling, which applies Grievous Wounds.
Yeah, I noticed that. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed that the Mordekaiser was inflicting Grievous Wounds as well. He picked up more Necronomicon.
Yeah, the Morello's applies Grievous Wounds as well. We see J4 getting even more tanky with his Stone Plate here now. Stone Plate will... when he is in a big team fight, when he activates it doubles his health, it does reduce his damage, but if there's enough opponents, if there's 3 or more opponents, he gets 40 armor and 40 magic resist, which can be very, very big in a team fight. That could be a 10% damage or difference.
Doesn't he also get basically like 100% bonus HP if it's like 3 champions or more?
No, that's the base. Stoneplate just gives you the health and reduces your damage. It's 100%, it literally doubles your health and then gives you 60% reduced damage. Oh my god. Whew.
Talking about health, all these, geez, Nova's tearing through these people. Their health doesn't matter.
You see SLU trying to get some picks here, but they get their team split up by Mordekaiser. That's what I'm telling you. Mordekaiser has his ult. He can be like, oh, I ult you, you're out of the team fight, and boom, it's just game. You see Nova going for the second Baron of this game. They're going to take this Baron freely and then probably push an inhibitor or 2, which then starts spawning super minions probably out of mid and maybe top lane, because you see Brand pushing that top lane, trying to get the minions closer to use that Baron buff once he's there. But depending on how fast they do this, because they don't have that Brand, they don't have the Mordekaiser, they don't have such of a fast clear speed, but they're also not scared of them invading on this Baron, so they're not afraid of them stealing, you know?
Yeah, I see a teleport going down. Rocket just TP'd nearby the Drake. It seems like they're trying to stop the Mordekaiser, but it doesn't look good. I think the Rocket's just going to get incinerated here if she tries to fight him.
I definitely think the Soraka was just getting vision here, because if they get this Cloud Drake, that is Nova claiming the Dragon's soul. Cloud Soul gives you a 30% movement speed increase, I believe, just permanently, and it's just very, very good, because then it's a third one. That's a 30% cooldown reduction. But you do see SLU really pushing hard to try and get this. You see Jarvan jump in, ult, and he could not get a Kindred, did pop her smite first, and claimed that Drake, denying the soul, but Nova still has that Baron. They still have lanes pushing up. There's only one tier 2 left for SLU, and that's their bot lane. You see Nova pushing very hard on, you see the TP coming out top lane. There's Mordekaiser back in base. You see them pushing mid lane. Baron Nashor cannons are actually sit outside the range of actual tower range. So they can sit there and pelt these towers with no repercussion.
Ooh, there's the Thresh hook going on now.
You see Thresh just throwing these heroes. You see the Malphite ult. Malphite hitting a 3-man ult, but it just doesn't do enough damage. There's no follow-up. You see the Senna ult for all the shield. You see Caitlyn go down in the back. You see the Thresh hook hitting the Caitlyn. Caitlyn could not hit the ult in time. Kindred couldn't hit the ult in time. You see a full wipe on SLU's side. You see Nova pushing in for the towers, and I believe this will be game 1 in favor of Nova.
Yeah, this was pretty good. Yeah, they just kind of wrecked this one. This was really good for them. This was kind of, or I wouldn't say exactly a redemption arc, because you need a lot more episodes for that.
Yeah.
Whatever. But they definitely, they've started this
After
out really strong.
their early game was amazing. They had that vision control very early game. They claimed the early objectives. And then mid-game, SOU definitely really showed that pushback. They were like, this is our game. We're going to come in. We're going to take vision. We're going to start taking objectives. And then Nova's like, no, that's not going to happen. This is our playing field.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure we're going to have intermission now as they take a break for games.
All right, and we'll see you at game 2, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, and welcome back to Game 2 of SLU versus Nova. As we get in the bans, we see Nova starting with that Heimerdinger Echo again, and we see SLU going for that Elise Nautilus again.
That seems to be their bans. Also, they swapped sides, so Nova's now blue and NCL whatever's on the red side. Which should be a bit interesting. Yeah, the bans seem pretty normal. It's like, that's alright. Not seeing anything groundbreaking here. Oh, a Senna.
We do see the Senna ban. That Senna first game definitely, I think, put a strain on the team. I think they were all that healing, all the shielding. They definitely did not like that. We see Nova seeing that Senna ban and not the MF ban, and immediately snatch at the MF. MF is very, very strong right now with her ult and all of her damage.
Yeah, it's a pain to lane against her. It's the Q, the little jump thing that you think like, all right, I've got enough health. This isn't gonna do that much damage. Jump! Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Half my health bar.
For those who don't know, MF, her Q, if it hits a target and you're in a little cone behind it, it will shoot towards you and do a very sizable amount of damage, especially once it gets a few items going. And it's just destructive. It's you'll see it in game.
Talking about destructive, the enemy team just picked Vel'Koz. That true damage ult is gonna be really deadly.
Yeah. His ult is this like beam he shoots out. I don't know if it did true damage, but
I thought it did.
it might. I don't know about cause. I know his ult is this like big beam, does a lot of damage. I mean, even if you have like MR or whatever, it does a fair amount of damage. We also see the Wukong come out. Wukong, I think he just got a buff recently. That's what I'm trying to think about right now. He's very good with his copies and his CC that he can provide. He just definitely has to get his items. Without items, Wukong can definitely fall behind.
Yeah, talking about just interesting things people being knocked up, we've got Gragas and Yasuo. That's a pretty powerful combo, and I actually heard people talking a bit about it earlier and saying it's pretty volatile and pretty powerful combo. So this should be really interesting to see.
One of the main reasons why it's really good is because Yasuo feeds off knockups, and Gragas does knockups. So if a target's knocked up, then Yasuo can land his, I think it's ult, I believe.
Yeah, his ult.
Yeah. The Volibear pick. So now this puts into question of where Wukong's going to be sitting. Wukong could be top lane, and Volibear could be jungle here, but obviously we don't know. We'll wait until we see once we're in game. But it's definitely going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Looking at these comps so far.
Oh, Thresh Band, they really did not like the man's hooks.
Yeah, no. They're definitely taking out all those hook man.
Yumi?
The Yumi band. Yumi's actually very strong right now with her heals. I mean, it's almost like a pocket healer, man. They sit on you like Yumi does, and it's just like, oh, all these heals.
That's so boring. But we've all...
It's boring, but it's good.
I'll take my rock over a kitty cat any day. Anyways, talking about stuff that's interesting, Mordekaiser and Malphite band, Mr. Mountain Man.
You definitely see on the side of SLU the target bans. They did not like that Senna. They did not like that Thresh. They did not like that Mordekaiser. All three of them. Mordekaiser would just sit in the back lines, pick off whoever he wanted. He's got this huge health pool. Thresh was landing those hooks, those flays, and he was doing damage. The Senna ults, the Senna heals. They just did not want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, and talking about relation to Senna, we've now got Lucian on the enemy team. That should be pretty interesting with the damage. How do you happen to know how the Misfortune versus Lucian usually goes?
It really depends on who your support is. So Lucian
Oh.
definitely needs. So see now, Lucian's definitely probably gonna fall behind against the MF because Braum can put up a big shield that projects from all projectiles.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which I think actually Yasuo's wind wall and Braum's shield might be able to do with Lucian's ult, Vel'Koz's ult. I think wind wall blocks
I
Vel'Koz's ult.
no Vel'Koz ult is so wind wall blocks things with projectile speed, so like shots and stuff like that. Whereas Vel'Koz ult is just a solid beam. I believe it will go through it, but like all of Vel'Koz's other abilities are all projectiles. They all have a speed that they shoot at. So wind wall can block all those. Braum can block all those. Braum ult can block. I believe Braum ult can still block Vel'Koz though, because that blocks.
Yeah, no, it doesn't block. It'll throw him up in the air. Talking about more knockups, Braum ult can knock on up. Sion Q can knock on up. I think Sion's ult also upon initially hitting does knock up.
Yeah, I do believe.
So
So this is a very. I don't want to say based around Yasuo, but this is a very Yasuo supportive team. A lot of knockups. Yasuo will be able to take advantage of that, use his ult a lot. He'll be able to do a lot of damage, get in, out of fights. One pick I did miss is the Pike pick on the side of SLU. Pike Lucian bot against the Braum MF is definitely going to be a very interesting, layout, but we'll see how it is, obviously.
wait, why? Okay, I'm curious if the Braum and the Sion are swapping. Sion support could be very strange.
Could be Braum top side support. It could be.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, like you're saying.
Okay, there's the swap.
Okay, thank goodness. But yeah, I'm feeling like this what Nova's going for. I think they're trying to put all of their power onto Yasuo with all these knockups, and the goal of everyone else is probably going to be to enable Yasuo to get the knockups, to peel away enemies, and let Yasuo just do Yasuo things.
Yeah. Another thing, I mean, obviously you're stacking heavy in the Yasuo with all these knockups, but I mean, Misfortune's like always good. I mean, like she doesn't really need much of a setup, just spam Qs and auto attacks.
Yeah, just like simply just the ult's like pew 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 pew. Yeah, the ult gives really good zoning. So like, if the Misfortune needs to kind of cover Dragon or something, or cover Baron, or like pursue enemies to get away from it, she could pop her ult.
Yeah, obviously. Or steal, Dragon.
Yeah, steal.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
So we'll see the Gragas versus Volibear in jungle. I don't really know how that matchup's gonna go. But I do know individually Volibear can be very strong. He has his flip into the fear thing he does, or the little knockback. His ult is that big chain lightning. I mean,
geez, the chain lightning is really annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
Especially, actually, the chain lightning might be a really good thing for them to have, considering if this whole team's kind of clustered together trying to defend the Yasuo, that chain lightning can probably bounce around and hit a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know if SLU is 100% in order. I don't remember the names because the jungler's in the wrong spot. They're not in order? Okay.
All right, yeah,
we've just been told that they are not in order. I think it was in a rush to get this game going. They couldn't get that going. So it's probably Vel'Koz mid here against the Yasuo, which, like we said before, Wind Wall block a lot of that damage. I feel like the Yasuo would definitely have that favor. The Lucian Pike versus Braum MF. If Pike lands his stuns right on Braum and keeps him from putting shield up, I definitely see Lucian dealing a lot of damage. MF doesn't really have a big health pool. I mean, her health pool's okay, but
yeah,
it's not the biggest thing.
Yeah, so based on us just getting kind of the word of God, to use a TV trope. Am I even using that trope correctly? Probably not. Probably not. I don't browse the internet enough for a living. Anyways, so we're probably gonna have to redo this again and do that. This feels like this is a trend, considering this so far, having to remake the match due to some kind of error.
I don't think they'll remake because of this. I think it's for timing reasons that they just had to rush in. Even if it's out of order, that's okay. The reason why the last one that happened was because of the wrong account and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I mean, even with the wrong pick on the brand still came out to be very useful. I believe, actually, no, I'm probably not going to say what we were thinking about picking, because I don't know if it was saw on stream or not. So
no,
we'll leave that on the side.
Nah, it was a pretty good pick. Yeah, this is interesting.
We do see the singular teleport on both teams this time instead of the double teleport, which then for objectives will, it'll change it up, because you have to play off of just one teleport rather than both.
Yeah, and with Ignites being on it, Yasuo can do Yasuo things. Whoever's their mid laner can do mid laner things. The Ignite, yeah, the Ignite will be very useful actually against Yasuo, considering the healing from Conqueror.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we can see the messed up teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Pyke has, I don't know, the Pyke has teleport, so I'm really looking, and I might, maybe it's just me, is it going to be a top Pyke?
oh, that's a good question.
It could be Vel'Koz support, top Pyke, Wukong mid.
Well, we got word that they're in the wrong order. So.
Yeah, so that's why, they're in the wrong order, so it's going to be very interesting. So coming into the start of this game, it's going to be very interesting see what comes out of this.
Something's going on? Oh.
No, he's just turning on the settings that we had
before.
Oh,
yeah. The lovely being able to see the time, like, everything, saying, like, hey, there's when objectives are. So.
Our wonderful tech team working in the back.
Yeah, they're the heroes. They are the unspoken heroes.
So we see Nova going for this 5-man into top bush.
Side?
We do see the Wukong top. Okay, so that confirms it. We see Pyke mid. So it is a Vel'Koz support and a Pyke mid. Okay.
Wait, I think the Scion has what's the name of the new rune that swapped out Klepto?
Omnistone.
Omnistone. I think he has Omnistone.
Yeah, because you can see the little proc there. How Omnistone works, for those who don't know, Omnistone rotates what runes you have when you use it. So I don't remember the name of that one right now. But basically, once he uses that, or once a certain time passes, he'll switch to another one, which can be very useful. Apparently, this is actually a new and uprising thing, just like Soraka top is Scion Omnistone in top lane. It deals a fair amount of damage, and if you rotate through the right runes, you can, if you get like Predator at the right moment, you get all this movement speed, boom, just charge in, crush everyone.
Yeah. The thing he had was Phase Rush. Something's going on up here. If you notice, the Scion's still by red, and Gragas is just taking on it by itself, and something's going on mid. Y'all's just chilling.
So I've seen this before. What happens is Scion will take red buff early game, even if it means killing him, because it's just an execution to a buff, and that doesn't matter. But it denies the Volley Bear from ever getting red buff early game, which will combine an experience, gold, and the red buff for clear speeds.
Yeah, and also.
And see?
Oh.
No, it's okay. He'll die here, and then his passive will kick in. Scion's passive gives him basically like second life. Where he can still attack and heal off it. You see the gank of Yasuo here mid, but Yasuo has all these dashes, and Yasuo will just get out of there really easy without ever using a flash.
Yeah, and he got level 2 just in the nick of time.
Yep. And then you'll see Scion died, but the death timers are so short, he just teleports top instantly. Boom, he's already back in lane. Never missed any CS. He's 7-9. And he denied Volley Bear that red buff.
Jeez, and he also got himself a little regen bead.
Yep, from all the gold.
Jeez, Yasuo's really being aggressive, trying to get the kill on Pyke, or at least just do tons of damage.
Well, Pyke, one thing about Pyke has very little wave clear early and even into late game. So if Yasuo just pushes, this Pyke will be behind on gold the whole game, not get a lot of items, not be able to do a lot, and inevitably, he'll lose his lane and probably be first tower out because Yasuo can constantly push that. So we'll probably be seeing Volley Bear looking at that.
Yeah, ganking mid a lot. And there's a lot. Jeez. The Scion top's doing a lot of damage.
The electrocute, once he gets a third smack here, will proc. Oh, but he was on his copy, so it won't count.
Still, that was pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
Jeez. Leaving the hands up to RNG, that's a bold move.
So I was kind of dumb. I saw in Scion there. Scion still has the red buff, so I guess because of the timer or something, he gets to keep it.
I'm not exactly sure.
I'm not sure how it works. I've seen it happen before. Apparently, it's a really good strategy.
I don't know. Maybe it's something like the buff. Oh, there's something going on bot side. Lucian's getting hit by the Braum, and he's getting freeze. That's a flash
and
heal.
We do see the flash, we see heal, and we see the ignite go out.
Jeez, yeah, that's a lot of sums burned by the NCL. Is that what they're called?
SLU.
So, I'm getting the names mixed on up. The enemy team, the opposing force, the bad guys to our heroes, those people. You know, classic movie style. Ooh, and that's quite a bit of damage. And Braum just going in over there. Lucian did... That's a little nice dash from there. And Nova's just keeping them pushed on up. Top side, mid side, bot side, they're all pushed on up. Looks like they might be doing their best to repeat the success of earlier.
You see them doing the same thing I said earlier. They're conquering that the river vision, so they see that Volibear is there. Gragas is just like, well, why would I not turn on this?
Yeah, and there's just a lot of damage going on. Gragas seems to be very much going for the kill. And the Yasuo doing a bit of damage, but they get out alive. But with that, they take a lot of damage from that. I can't English.
We do see Nova changing their playstyle just a little bit based off how game 1 went, just because they saw how this team plays, so they can play around that. They can be like, oh, we control that vision very well. That was a really cool play.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, I saw the wind wall. I was like, wait a sec, isn't the Pike E gonna root him? Then I just see the wind wall go up. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a thing now. Thank you for informing me.
Yeah, so apparently I guess Pike's E has a projectile speed to it, and so his wind wall was able to block it, and that was a really good play. I didn't know that could happen.
Good to know. Yeah, this Yas is performing really well. It's kind of scary.
So here, like we said, you'll see Volibear trying to gank a lot, but Volibear is so far behind, and First Blood will go to the Yasuo.
Yeah, jeez. And I think I saw like a flash ult. The Yasuo knows what he's doing, and that's a scary thing. As he... Oh, talking about stuff going scary. The Vel'Koz just got frozen on out. They're going for the dive, and the Lucian meets his maker. Or maybe Thresh is going to say hello to him. I don't know. It's a very interesting thing with that, but that's a 3-man bot side Nova, and they get 2 kills out of that. Not only that, that gives them quite a bit of pressure. They can probably take a turret plane or 2, or even go for Drake off of that. Which it seems that they might be going with Drake, because they've got Gragas, they've got Braum, they've got MF heading towards it. With the Volibear being nearby, he might be able to intercept. Never mind, they're not going for Drake. They're probably just warding or looking for a good spot to back.
Yeah, they just had that big fight bot. They probably had a lot of gold sitting on them right there, so they probably just wanted to back, refresh, get some items, and then they'll probably push for the Drake after this.
Yeah.
If you look at levels, though, Gragas is 5, he's been 5, probably hitting 6 soon. Volibear is still a 4. You see that early gank on red can do so much. It puts him so far behind. He loses a lot of his farm. He's 33-25. You see Gragas, look at all the items he has, and you look at Volibear. Well, Volibear just has second tier of jungle item and a refillable potion.
Yeah, he's not doing so hot. Jeez, yeah, the CS difference is not too big, but it's there. And, my goodness, the Wukong's just getting kind of demolished topside by his Scion.
Ooh, Scion getting that basic attack off, you saw that. And he got the Grasp proc, which Grasp gives him a permanent health increase. Even if it's on Omnistone, the health increase stays, apparently, I found out.
Oh, that makes sense. It would be kind of cheap if it didn't.
Well, like, Dark Harvest stacks don't stay.
Seriously?
Yeah, every time you get Dark Harvest, it's a reset Dark Harvest stack.
Okay, I guess that's for balance.
I mean, if you permanently had Dark Harvest...
Okay, good point, good point.
Dark Harvest is very strong.
Yeah, you see it everywhere in, like, Earth and such.
So here's, like we said, that this Braum is just going to be blocking a lot of the damage. MF is not afraid to step up against this Vel'Koz and Lucian, because Braum can just be like, oh, shield. Bye.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage dealt by the MF with just a single Q onto that Lucian. Yeah. His HP just kind of went, boom. And there's any more tornadoes. Yeah, Nova's just got the enemies pushed up so much. They really can't do anything.
You see the Volibear coming top. He's level 4 and Sion's level 7. Sion still has ult here. Sion gets ignited. He's turning the fight. You see Gragas coming up, trying to help turn the fight with his Sion here. Sion's a little low. You see Gragas coming out, knocking back. You see the knockup from Sion.
Oh, the Sion is not afraid. Jeez. He goes in like that, but bot side, ooh, the Vel'Koz just got disintegrated. And ooh. Oh no.
Oh no, the trade went wrong.
Jeez, that was so close as well.
Greeting.
One more auto attack could have finished that Lucian off, but I don't. Oh, and then the recall almost got stopped topside by the Yasuo.
I mean, we've all been there. Greed.
Yeah.
You want the kill.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to admit how many times greed has gotten me killed, and I'm totally not to blame for the fact that I dove in as Leona more than 4 times. I'm totally not to blame for our game going sour. Totally not. Not at all.
So Lucian, if you saw there, was trying to freeze that wave outside the tower to get as much CS as he can, but his health is just a little too low. He can't sustain that much damage. He will have the back here, no mana, no health, leaving bot lane wide open for Braum and MF just to push the tower. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just how it works.
Yeah, and MF's got a small bit of a CS lead, and then the items as well pretty good. I wish I could like mouse on over and see the quest progression, but that'd be too much of a hassle right now.
It's okay.
But my guess would be that the Braum is probably ahead on that quest progression rather than.
Well, Braum has a complete because you can see the
Oh,
level 1,
yeah.
and Vel'Koz does not yet.
Yeah, I wish it said when it completed. Maybe it did. But yeah, so support's ahead of their quest items. And looks like they might be going for Drake, but there's a fight going on around it with Pyke and Vel'Koz getting caught out. Ooh, but sadly it doesn't look like any kills are being caught there. Well, topside, Wukong's just monkeying around against this undying beast.
Yeah, we do see Wukong can do a fair amount of damage, but Cyan does have a fair amount of healing that he can provide himself. You see the Pyke trying to go in here, but Braum's really not afraid. He can just block all the damage like that. You see the MF coming out in combination with the Yasuo.
Oh, that hurts. That was
Wow.
amazing to see, but that hurts for the enemy team. That's just kind of soul crushing there.
You wanna break down a little bit about what that combo was?
So what happened first? I didn't see if Braum dropped his ult. No, his Braum's ult was on cooldown. So what happened is they wanted in. I'm pretty sure Gragas got the knockup, which threw him in the air. Then Yasuo was able to ult in on 2 of the enemies. And because they're stuck in the air, you're stuck there as you're getting Yasuo ulted, you know, slash, whatever, anime style. And then MF was in the perfect spot to activate her ult. Because both of those champions were stuck there, they took the brunt of the damage from the MF ult.
Yeah, that was very well played in Nova's favor. SLU is definitely crumpling under the pressure of Nova just being Nova here. They're being very aggressive. They're showing who they are. They're making sure they're staying up in CS and kills. They're definitely playing advantage on how they stacked around this Yasuo here. Because that's exactly what we were talking about in draft. This is what they're looking for. Yasuo ult into anything else. Boom. Game. Or not game, but...
No, I get you. I didn't even think... when we were at draft, I didn't even think about the synergy between a Yasuo ult and something like an MF ult.
Yeah, I mean... MF ult is a very valuable ult in a lot of situations. It is useful in such a broad spectrum just because it does a lot of damage and has this really nice cone range. It's not too small, but it's not too big. Just to make it that perfect range to make it balanced and useful in a lot of situations.
It's just right.
Just right.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, doesn't her ult also scale off of, like, AP as well for some absurd
AD.
reason? It's not AD and AP?
It might be both.
Alright. Anyways, talking about stuff like that. Pyke was trying to clear out some wards, Yasuo caught, and that's a Yasuo ult, and that Volibear is dead. That's a Braum ult being dropped, and that's, the Yasuo is just everywhere. Jeez, they're getting cleaned up.
This is the strength of Yasuo right here.
Oh, this is the Yasuo she tells you not to worry about.
You see the team waiting for the next minion wave to crash into this tower here. They're going to proxy that wave. They're going to wait for the next wave and push in, grab some plates. You see Wukong taking advantage of all of Nova being down on bot side, taking that Rift Herald, which is really good on him. It's balancing the objectives. They just lost Dragon. They've lost a good amount of kills.
Yeah, they're hurting. They're hurting. They need to try and do something to make come back right. The gold difference is quite absurd right now. What is that? That's like a 6 difference or 7?
It's
7K?
That's about a 6, 7-ish K. Yeah, I think I can. Yeah, so we can see who's earned how much gold here, how much gold they're currently sitting on, how much gold they've had in total. You can just see the differences in the lane. I mean, MF almost has 6K. Lucian's just a little under 4K. I mean, he barely has any gold at this point. You see the Braum. See, that's the power of his shield, just completely nullifying that Lucian ult.
Oh, the Lucian was just sent straight to the maker. Jeez.
I mean, you can just see from this alone the gold difference.
Yeah, it's crazy. There was like probably because it was weirdly aligned. I was able to truly see the difference between the Yasuo and Pyke gold difference, but it was probably quite huge.
Pull that up.
Let me see here. So it's about 3,000 difference.
Yeah, every lane is about a 2 or 3K difference in gold. I mean, you look at Volibear. Volibear's probably the closest to Bragas with only a 1K difference between that laning. But
Yeah. Talk about Yasuo. It seemed like the bad guys, I can't remember the name right now, whatever, were trying to get a gank onto our hero, the Yasuo, but it was unfazed.
we see Sion getting caught out in a really bad place here, just constantly getting piked, pulled back, stun, Volibear flip. You see him constantly going for him. He will have to flash out there, but Yasuo's in. You see the MF ult is peel, and they will just run away here because Sion is low. They've used a fair amount of ults. They don't have that tower down yet, but they're still gonna
Yasuo!
dive it.
Jeez. Yeah, and at least that can... Yeah, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of move around. Yasuo Tornado, that's... Oh, jeez.
Oh, Yasuo, no.
Our hero has fallen.
He dove tower too much.
Hey, when you're that confident and you're doing that much damage, I think it's worth it. And there comes Brom.
There's that power. Brom dashes to an ally, puts up that shield. Lucian is supposed to be playing around that, and he's just not playing around that very well. And Nova is definitely taking advantage of their team comp. I think you can see it. Their team comp is just better, scaled, better countered. I mean, they're like, okay, this is what they're picking, so we pick this. This is what they're picking, we pick that. Nova gonna go ahead and take second Drake here, which will be an Ocean Drake, and then we'll see what third Drake is in this game. First Drake was Mountain Drake, for those of you who missed it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting some information according to the Dark Harvest thing from a reliable source. Apparently Dark Harvest, you do, I think from the sound of it, you do keep the stacks, but only when you've got like Dark Harvest up.
Oh, okay, that makes a little more sense now. Ooh, the Electrocute, you need an Electrocute proc, that would be big. Yeah, all he's to do is land 3 abilities or basic attacks, and he's just this big chunk of damage. Oh, you see it right there. Oh, he's just destroying that Lucian. You see Yasuo coming in for that queen, but he can't. Sion killed him first.
Jeez, Sion's just an unkillable beast right now.
Yeah, Sion's health bar has just not gone down. You see him claim that double.
Jeez, I don't know what to call this besides a curve stomp. Like, this isn't even, I don't even know what to say about this besides just curve stomp. Talk about that. There's Dark Harvest. There's the Dark Harvest.
Yeah. Looking at items a little bit, Sion, one of the main reasons he can't die, Frozen Heart. A lot of armor, a lot of attack speed slow to anyone around him. Ninja Tabbies, a lot of armor. I mean, he's just this solid guy at this point. You see Gragas has, I believe, Orb. Orb is just a really good amount of AP. I think some health. Not 100% on that one.
I think it's like health and AP.
Yeah.
Because you build it with, I think, Amplifying Tome and like a Ruby Crystal.
Yeah.
Oh, the Vel'Koz, no!
Goodbye, Vel'Koz. It was great knowing you.
Jeez. And then the monkey just got shot down.
Monkey did use the Rift Herald to claim that tower bot lane, though, which would give him a good amount of gold to help try and catch up a little bit. But I don't know how much it's going to help. He does have Black Cleaver, which will shred through that Sion a little bit, but he hasn't been in any good fight with Black Cleaver against that Sion yet to help shred the armor.
Yeah, it's just been not a good day for these people. Jeez.
Game 2, Nova is definitely showing who they are in this competition and how they will make it to playoffs this season.
My goodness, Yasuo is just, he's just like, alright, I see you're gonna try and double kill me. Haha, that's cute. It's just like, oh, then the MFO brand.
The Braum ult to knock him up, the MF ult to confirm the kill. Both of them had already used Flash.
Then our hero falls. He was too far in.
Yasuo's greeting again.
Jeez. Well, I mean, when you're basically a Shonen protagonist, you don't care. You don't care.
Look at this Sion. Sion's literally tanking tower, not caring. His health is getting low, and he's just like, psh, that's okay. I'll be fine.
He had lethal tempo. So, and then...
he has another grasp that will increase his health even more if he lands a basic attack here.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he's just getting pulled into it.
Pulling him in constantly. His passive will go off and he will get a kill off of it. Oh no, they stole his kill.
But then there's a Pike ult drop. So they've got some gold from that. But no.
Oh, Braum tried the flash block, but he flashed too far.
But still, that was pretty good denial. That was like, yeah, I see your bullets. Say hello to my frosty shield. It's nice, isn't it? I got it for a discount. Can you even get doors that big for a discount? Or like, it sounds like if you got a door like that big, like how big do you think Braum is?
Braum's a pretty big man.
So like 6 foot, 7 foot something.
Probably like 6'6".
Yeah,
Close.
with a shield that's about like that height, like that diameter. How much do you think you'd like have to pay for that? Especially if having like a
lot.
frog.
I mean, that's like just like a solid block.
Oh, no, it's not even a shield. It's like a door.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm curious, like, how much it would cost to buy a door like that? I don't know. It's interesting. There's not much else to say here. Like, Nova's got pretty good stuff. And I've got my suspicions that they've got this one in the bag.
I mean, you know, when you're playing a game and when you're spectating a game, it can be very different.
Yeah, true.
I think any game can be winnable with the right mindset and the right plays. If they play it right, and probably kill Yasuo really early.
Talk about that. Oh, Yasuo. Oh, there's Romo. Oh, they're throwing in the air. That's an MF ult. That's Yasuo saying hello. That's Graga saying, yeah, you ain't going nowhere. Sion's like, hello. You're getting thrown into the air.
Sion is played by the guy who played that Mordekaiser last game. He's doing the exact same thing. He's like, oh, your backline? No, that's my backline. I stand here. You stand somewhere else. This is my space. You see them just completely not caring about tower because Sion's tanking it. He's just like, I'll take this.
Jeez. Yeah, it's not your space. It's not your website.
Full team wipe, Rift Herald, in him going down. I believe this is game 2 in favor of Nova going 2-0 here.
The Vel'Koz. Wait, give Penta, okay?
Give him Penta.
Oh my goodness. Is this part of like the 5 stages of grief acceptance? Or I don't know.
No, see, do they want the Penta or do they give a Penta?
Yeah, that's a good question. But the tower's getting absolutely shredded. I don't think there's much that this team can do. And they're just absolutely eviscerating it. That Nexus is just a matter of time before that gets destroyed. And Sion's just like, alright, you killed me. I'm still going to do damage. I don't care. They're just trying to get some kills. They're skirmishing. They're not... Doesn't look like they're going for a straight finish.
No, they're not going for a straight finish because they can't because the whole team's up.
Ooh,
the Yasuo probably has ult so he doesn't go down, but he does go down to the Pike ult.
Jeez. Yeah, it's crazy. And
you see them trying their best to defend. They have minions all over. Their health is just getting too low. And this is game.
This is game, yeah.
Also, I'm just saying, it was Cloud Drake again.
Yeah, I noticed it. Honestly, Cloud Drake is like my favorite
My
Drake.
mental powers are beyond your understanding.
Yes, apparently so. You should be a psychic.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. This was an amazing 2-0 win for the Nova Nighthawks. I am Patrick, or